listening to Dank Swamp ReBellion.
I've been developing the Swanson Pyramid of Greatness for years. It's a perfectly calibrated recipe for maximum personal achievement. Categories include capitalism, God's way of determining who is smart and who is poor.
Whenever you go to a pawn shop or a thrift market and you find this little weird looking thing that just attracts you to it, you know, like it's some kind of little bonhomme that it's got some juju on it, and you can't not buy it, and you don't even know what the fuck it is.
Bro, I know exactly what you're talking about, because the other day, me and the old lady, we went out, and every now and again, we get wild, bro. Like, we come up with these ideas that are crazy. Like, we was going grocery shopping, and my lady was like, look, instead of going grocery shopping, let's go to the Habitat for Humanity Restore, which is where all these people bring the shit they don't want, and then they resell it. That's how exciting we are. So I walked into this place. There's a bunch of old antique furniture and a bunch of crap everywhere. They got some cool shit. And, bro, all of a sudden, there was this little ceramic dog sitting there that was covered, completely covered in these little tiny shells. And my wife said, is that not the ugliest thing? I said, yeah, but I immediately picked it up. Dude, it was heavy. It was made of plaster of Paris, come to find out. And it was completely covered in tiny little seashells. And when I flipped it over, it said $2. And I immediately thought to myself, if I don't buy this piece of history, this was made by somebody's hands.
Yeah.
This may sit on this shelf forever. So I walked around a little minute. I thought about it. My wife picked out a few things. I want these for the camper. Okay, cool. Man, I went and picked it. She said, you really going to buy it? I said, I have to have this. There's something about it. I have a spiritual connection to this puppy, and I have to give it a home. So I did. I bought it for $2. It's sitting in the man cave. Another thing I found, which was really good, is an Alcoholics Anonymous book. I bought it because it was $1. Because it said on the sign, no lie, in the book section, it said, nice hardbacks, $2. Not so nice hardbacks, $1. Softback, nice, $1. Softback, not nice, 25 cents. This is a true testament to what AA really is, because I can tell you right now, that very book, was published and printed in 1988, and it has never been opened till this day, including me. So I put it between a bottle of Jack and a bottle of Tito's to always remind me to stay grounded. But it's never been opened, so you can tell AA really does work.
Was it in the 25-cent? Even though it's a hardback.
I don't even think she charged me, dude. I think she just fucking like, you look like you need it.
Yeah.
Being that I had a fifth in my hand while I was buying it. I need this book here.
Baby steps,
because I didn't have any more roll papers, bitch. I have that. I bought a book about the history of Louisiana, and I bought a New King James Version Bible.
A new one?
Yeah.
Like it's new or the new version?
No, it was a softback in bad condition, so I got it for 25 cents.
New version.
Yeah. That was the difference between the Bible and the AA book. The AA book was never opened, but somebody read that Bible a lot. Ain't that insane?
Version 3.6.8 build.
If
9.
they put stories in that AA book, like the Bible, about weird shit happening, people would read that motherfucker. But it's pretty goddamn boring. It's talking about loving yourself, and that shit ain't right.
If it did have stories about people who are abusing alcohol in the AA books, I feel like they would be a lot more receptive to reading that shit. What's funny is I watched Phil fuck with his iPad because it's not giving him the right shit for the last 20 minutes. And his phone is, and I really think the Dreamweavers, they're fucking with you, dude.
The daydream believer is all up in your mind hole.
They figured you out, dude.
They're coming after me.
Why'd you have to call the number, Phil? Why'd you have to call the number?
Sound like a good idea at the time.
You want me to tell you what's at the end of this road, that the number we called?
Death.
The deciphered message that you're going to end up receiving. It's going to come in probably about a couple of hours because they're analyzing your dream. It's a message that's going to give you the date of the end of the world. It's the rapture, which is September 5th.
Spoiler alert.
Yep. You better be ready, people.
We got it wrong 8 years ago when the Mayans predicted it because we didn't take in the calibration of where we were compared to where we are now.
That's the one thing they didn't understand. They through time, scientists thought that the sun was getting smaller and smaller, that it was burning out, not realizing it was actually getting larger and pushing us away. And so, yeah, calculations are off by a few years. If you push it, if the sun's actually bigger and it pushes it out a little further, it's going to put you off in time by a few years.
So 8 years to be exact.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that Mayan mathematician was dyslexic.
How would you know that?
He switched the month and the date around.
Exactly.
Holy shit. Wouldn't that be fucked up? Like, I think.
August 3rd. Oh, wait, March 8th. Shit.
Fuck. Last year.
Well, supposedly, at the end of this rabbit hole that we're going down, they're going to send you that cryptic message with the date, September 15th, once you decipher what it is. And it's a cult. It's a cult that believes that September 5th is the end times, and where all signs are straight up pointing towards it. If I'm being completely honest, it doesn't feel out of place to be completely honest. It kind of freaks me the fuck out that the phone call even happened. Yeah.
I mean, but are you scared of it?
No.
I kind of welcome it, man.
I'm almost like not only open to it, but intrigued because I was a really fucked up kid and I wanted some disaster or some type of life-changing thing to happen because I was so tired of the monotonous day-to-day.
When I was a kid, my parents and my grandparents were very religious, and they would follow signs and wonders. And I remember there was a pastor, and I'm going to put him on blast. His name's Kenneth Copeland. He's a very rich pastor. Him and his wife, Gloria, up at Eagle Mountain Church.
That worked out, huh?
Yeah.
Gloria.
Yeah.
Nice. Good job.
Up in Fort Worth, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And he predicted that the Lord was coming back for his church on a certain day.
Mm-hmm.
And that the sun would turn black and the moon would turn red before midnight on this day. And my parents and my grandparents were so scared, and they stayed outside till midnight, and they watched that full moon. And nothing happened. And they had all the kids up and the grandkids. The whole family was together, and they were praying and praying and praying and repenting for their sins. But nothing ever happened. There I was, a young kid, thinking to myself, if you were a true Christian, if you really were staunch in your beliefs and you walked what you supposedly believe,
You'd welcome
you
it.
would have no fear because you were about to meet what you believe is your maker.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
I think once it's the same vein of Y2K, right?
Right.
You know, like there's a hard line date for something.
And look at Y2K. What did they turn into? A religious media gain. It automatically turned into, this has something to do with the mark of the beast. Preachers everywhere were marketing this Y2K thing. Our church was marketing it. All the churches in the area were marketing it.
They really were.
And they made tons and tons of money. And then what happened? 2 months before, they said, hey, turn your shit back to 1990. It's like, okay.
Well, because Carson Daly said it was...
Oh, well, Carson
It
Daly
made sense.
Yeah, he is the truth.
Yeah.
He's the way, the truth, and the light.
But
Amen.
like these hard line dates of significance, I mean, it sounds like something so absolute that it's like an on and off switch, right? But I think what the more fucked up thing is what's actually happening, that we're being conditioned to a new way of life.
OK, parfait.
If you're in South Louisiana and you're a confirmed Catholic who likes gay porn and you know you're going to fucking hell for it and you know that this fucking priest is going to find out, you son of a bitch me, and he's going to damn you to hell forever and you're never going to make it out of the fucking purgatory, NordVPN sponsor.
You have the fuckers that are the sheep in wolves' clothing. Wait, the other way around. But it doesn't matter. That's the point of the fucking conversation. It's sheep versus wolves. Don't be either.
Yeah. It could be the sheep, and inside is the wolf who's hiding, and the minute you go to pet the fucking woolly sheep, it bites your fucking hand off.
I think Malcolm X said that to a certain extent. No, he did actually.
Malcolm X said that. I'll bite your fucking hand off.
Well, like, not those exact words, but he was asked, what the difference between a white liberal and a white conservative is. He's like, a white conservative, you know what his or her intentions are. Now, a white liberal pretends to be your friend. They are the wolf in sheep's clothing.
And a lot of people are calling that capitalism.
Like, honestly,
a lot of people.
I'm gonna tell you what capitalism is. You ready for this? A lot of people have looked at our social media and asked why I have a pop figure of Dobby sitting in this studio, and there's a reason for it. And that reason is because one day my 19-year-old kid came to me and said, "I would like you to hang the 65-inch TV in my room." And I said, "Sonny Ray, sure. No problem. Let me investigate this situation." So I looked at the old TV she had. I thought about what it would take to take it down. She had a dresser in the way. I thought about I'd have to move that and how much time it would take to do this. And then I looked around her room, and she had that pop of Dobby sitting there. And I walked over, and I grabbed it, and I picked it up. I said, "Okay, I'll do it for this." She goes, "You can't have that." I said, "Okay." I threw it back on the bed. I walked out. She's like, "Where are you going?" I said, "Well, Sonny," I said, "capitalism works like this. I have a service that you need, and that service is going to cost you that Dobby pop from Harry Potter.
Because I want it.
Because that's my price."
Yeah.
Now, because we're a free country, and we're not a communist country, you do not have to agree to my terms. You could say, "No, you keep your service, I keep my Dobby pop, we go our separate ways." But you know what? Either way, you're going to have to find somebody to do this for you. All right, you can have it. I hung her TV. I moved her dresser out of the way. Dobby is sitting there with his sock of freedom in his hand. Free forever now. Dobby is the quintessential symbol of freedom.
And he sits right there.
And he's going to stay there because that's the lesson I taught her. That monetary thing that she loved, that's all capitalism is. It's free will in order to do what you want. If we change the system to a socialist, I'm not saying that capitalism is perfect.
No, not by any means.
But I'd rather have that than have to eat my dog and the cat and the zoo animals because we're in a poverty-stricken nation in a wasteland.
We will never be able to record the next episode of Dank Swamp ReBellion if we go down that road. And you listening to this right now tells me that you support it.
Thank you.
You are part of the rebellion.
And
there is a popular syndicated show in this country that I'm going to give a shout out to. We are not sponsored. They don't even know about us. Walton and Johnson. And they call their listeners the 10%ers because they actually get 10% of their listeners actually get their message. You know, guys, you guys are the 1% because you're the cut above. You're actually the 1% of our listeners that actually get it. That understand that nothing's given to you in this world, that without drive and without having an open mind and thinking for yourself and actually having a fucking idea, an original idea and running with it, that you're never going to be anything waiting for some thing or someone or some government agency to give it to you.
Fuck no. I wouldn't even want it any other way. Imagine the pride you have of building something from fucking scratch, from nothing, and you see this thing take fold, and you see it start to evolve into this new thing, it brings an enlightenment that you will never, ever experience if you haven't done this. And I know this podcast in general is still in its infancy. I feel we haven't even been on for a year.
It's a baby.
And
we're still breastfeeding, folks.
Phil's our mama.
Come here, pretty boy.
He's our whale mama.
So the moral of the story here is not only thank you for joining us on the Dank Swamp ReBellion.
The Dank Swamp ReBellion? Holy Mario shits.
Right?
Want to try that again?
No, I don't even want to cut that. Fuck that.
No, I'm going to leave that in. That's cool.
Just raw dog editing.
Dude, look. The fact of the matter is I'm so happy that we're able to do this. And I don't want to be preaching to the choir here. Like, I want to hear what you have to say about this shit. Tell me why this is fucked up right now. Tell me why, in general, that you feel completely different. The fact that you do feel differently is why we fight to keep going on.
That's it. And there was a listener that approached us the other day in public, recognized us, and he was like, I just want to let you know y'all fucking suck. I'm like, thanks, man. We appreciate that. And we appreciate you guys.
You found us and you
don't stop listening. Don't stop listening. We're forever in your hearts and you're in ours.
Please don't stop.
Don't stop believing.
Send our link to your mom, to your grandma, to your uncle Lou. If you got an Uncle Porn, he'll love our show.
He loves our show, actually.
And don't forget to tell him about NordVPN, where you could privatize your entire internet experience whenever you're deciding to look up the fucked up shit beyond reasonable doubt. Oh, you had a last word.
I had a last word. So speaking of Uncle Porn, he actually sent me something recently the other day about the dangers of texting and driving. But the video is not about texting and driving. It's about getting fingered in the ass while driving.
How is that possible?
Well, it's simple. You just unbuckle your seatbelt, drop trowel, lean forward, and have your partner while driving stick fingers up your ass.
Duh. Fuck, dude.
Uncle Porn is crazy, son. Dude, that's your cousin. I'm leaving that in that time.
Daddy.
Oh, the quintessential daddy.
Wait, she's driving or he's driving?
He's driving. He can multitask.
See, it would be better if he wrecked. Like with her head.
Like some Final Destination shit. He goes out the window. And on his dying body, after rigor mortis sets in, he goes stiff. His fingers are still in the fingering position.
It's still good and rigid.
Talk about logs blasting through, right?
Man, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
What a lucky guy. So, yep, that's about it for the Dank Swamp ReBellion. Tune in next week for more exciting things. Also, we have more guests coming up soon.
Yep, looking forward to quite a few here. We got some extra saucy stories coming from the very underbelly of the fucking internet that I promised this dude got like 8 VPNs on.
Ain't NordVPNs
Holy
sponsored.
They're fucking really on.
And also, soon we're going to have Rattlesnake Dre back on the show. He has a super killer big find.
He came find us the other day.
He didn't really tell us a whole lot about what it was, but he told us about what period it was from, gave us a little bit of backstory on how he came about this, and it's super freaking cool, dude.
Let's just say
stoked
that this episode will go very well with his findings.
Absolutely. It's super awesome.
So don't keep it secret, but keep a secret with Dank Swamp.
So until next time, Dank Swamp ReBellion.
Same dank time, same dank channel.
Thank you for listening to Dank Swamp ReBellion. Check us out on dsrtalks.com.